Cherishing God's Vocation. For the past 1 month, we have been journeying with our Venerable Foundress Mariette, focusing on the various aspects of her life and mission. The long years she has struggled to seek and find God's will for her and for the institute she founded has left an indelible mark in our hearts and minds. As a prophet of unceasing optimism and contagious enthusiasm, she had fought the good fight, run the race, and it was on 30th January 1645 that she left us to receive the crown of glory in heaven. Before she surrendered her soul to her Creator and Lord, Mary expressed with great feeling her heartfelt wishes to the 5 companions gathered around her, saying, "Cherish God's vocation in you. Let it be constant, efficacious, and loving." Then, having kissed the crucifix in her hands, she faintly uttered the name of Jesus 3 times and then bowed her head in death. Even from her deathbed, Mariette recommends to us the living of our vocation in a constant, efficacious, and loving manner. The spiritual journey of Mariette began with God's gracious call and her loving response to offer herself to God's saving mission. She sensed her vocation as a call to follow where God might lead and set on that path with a heart full of faith, hope, and love. God was Mary's reference point in her journey, and she found Him in the people and events of each day. Hers was a story of passion for God and passion for people. To give herself entirely, not by halves, to the mission entrusted to her by God was her guiding principle. Within her was a fire for God and His cause. It is this fire that made her a woman with a burning desire to follow the will of God despite all her sufferings. Gentle and kind, with a heart that is aflame with love for God and love for people, Mariette directed all her energy to do everything for the greater glory of God. Her enthusiasm was magnetic and her presence animating and life-giving. The distinctive trait of Mariette, which permeated her whole being, was her sensitivity to the divine. This enabled her to see everything as God's will and work, and fulfilled them as perfectly as possible. The fruit of her work was not seen by her. Apparently, everything seemed to be a failure. Yet, being always guided by discerning love, she had the ability to give absolutely everything to the Lord and walked in a direction no one else had walked before. As a contemplative in action, Mariette always desired to do what God wanted her to do. With her eyes fixed on God and her hand in His, she spent so much of her time on journeys with uncertain outcomes. Yet, with humble trust and total availability, she allowed herself to be led by the mysterious plan of God moving forward with courage and equanimity, giving herself wholly to God with great sensitivity of heart, as a contemplative in action, guided by her defining virtues of freedom, justice, and sincerity, Mary Ward cherished her vocation and lived it with a magnanimous heart and a daring spirit. In Jesus, God has chosen each one of us to be companions in His saving mission. Let us thank Him for choosing us as collaborators in His mission, in the true spirit of Mary Ward, in freedom, justice, and sincerity. Today, Mary Ward invites us to listen to the cries of our world in need and our planet at risk, and respond with a new vision and passion for mission. She urges us to treasure our vocation and journey forward as ambassadors of reconciliation and justice. With an attitude of gratitude and surrender, let us offer ourselves to God wholeheartedly for the service of humanity. As Mary Ward's companions, moved by the person of Jesus and the needs of our world today, let us honor, celebrate, and thank our foundress for her dedication and commitment to mission at all times. May this be a significant moment of grace for a reawakening of our sense of mission and our readiness to work for healing, reconciliation, and transformation of our world, all for the greater honor and glory of God.